Oh, and it's a window. Oh, this looks very cool. Here's another one. Here's another literary thing. Persepolis. Kind of looks like that.
Dude? Oh man, if I weren't sitting down recording, I would walk to my bookshelf behind me and grab Persepolis off the shelf.
It's great.
Point to the camera.
Great.
Wow, look at you.
Catch me with the. I've got the literary references today to the Stinky Cheese Man.
Yo, what is up, gamers and indie fans, and welcome to Game Gems, the show where we check out the cool, smaller, hidden gem video games and give you our initial impressions. I am Christian Macias. Joining me, video lead Peter Hunt Spitek. Today we're checking out Miniatures, the new interactive story game from Other Tales Interactive. Peter, are you ready for some cozy art house?
You know that I love cozy art house, and I'm already loving. I love that to start the game you have to turn the little lamp on.
Anytime video games used to have sauce. Anytime like there's like a menu or like there's like some kind of interactivity that I have to do just to start the game and get into a level.
Yeah.
You got me. And cozy is the thing here. We got 4 unique puzzles. I'm kind of showing you kind of the ways you can get into them. We're gonna play through one of them, which is available on the demo, the screwdriver level, the flathead, I believe, and then some snippets of 2 others.
Okay, so it is a puzzle game, or how does this all work?
It's more like diet puzzle-like, because in reality, most of these are kind of more point-and-click interactive means of storytelling. Okay. They're all unique. They're all a little bit different than the other, so it's kind of hard to really pin it down on one genre. If I had to say it's anything, it's art house adventure story.
Okay, I mean, I see the art house for sure. This art style is pretty cool. Is this all like wordless? Just like sort of like kind of instructing you what to do here?
There is 2 of them that have some kind of dialogue or text. The other 2 are non-verbal, and you kind of have to feel out what the next move is or how to get to the next thing in the story. This is one that's non-verbal, but it's very much like a universal thing of like, everyone has gotten a piece of furniture in, and now you have to assemble it, and it isn't as easy as the maybe instructions would lead you to believe.
Dude, it never is. And I'm gonna say, trying to screw that in with a flathead, like you need a Phillips.
You do. How'd you know? Look at you.
Dude, I've put together my fair share of IKEA furniture. Yo, been there.
How many times have I
been there?
Yeah.
Dude, this is too real.
I will say, dude, this year I bought a coffee table from the TikTok shop.
Oh, and, yeah, how'd that go?
Did not go well, dude. I had to immediately throw out that thing as soon as it was assembled. It did, like, none of the pieces fit together at all. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to spend some real money on something more professional.
Sure. So I have a question about this game. So it seems like all of these little vignettes, it's kind of like the puzzle is trying to figure out what it's asking from you. Would you say that's accurate?
Yes. We'll see some snippets of another one where you kind of have to figure out how to get to the next story bit. Like this one is more specific, where like when you do the wrong thing, in comes in mom's hand, because you're like a kid who's like trying to help assemble this, and like you're doing the wrong thing, and you'll figure. Most of them are pretty easy. Like this, you're putting in I don't know what these are called, these wedges, I guess.
I know what those are. They're like the little wood things. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. But some of them aren't as obvious, right? And so you have to kind of trial and error it.
Sure.
I do want to note though, like every art style through these vignettes are just a little bit different. This one is, I think, maybe my favorite, only because of like the way the shapes of lines are like constantly moving and aren't as uniform. I'd say.
Yeah.
That is where the art style, more like impressionistic, definitely like rears its head the biggest.
Sure. This is interesting. So, is there like much challenge to this? Would you say, or is it pretty straightforward?
No, it's pretty straightforward. There is one that gave me challenge because you have to go. You'll see some of it. You have to go through the level and figure out how to solve a puzzle in the right sequence to get to the next area. And because most of the puzzles are non-verbal, it's figuring it out for myself.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. I am digging this art style. So you said that they do change, though.
They do change. Yeah. Everyone is different.
Got it.
This one was great, dude. I love this one.
It's very Where the Wild Things Are, like the picture book version of it. You know what I mean?
Oh, look at you. Look at you.
I know art. I know things. I know pencil line drawings.
I've not read Where the Wild Things Are, nor have I seen the movie.
I haven't seen the movie. I mean, I read the book when I was a child, so
Sure.
like
Okay.
can't imagine that it's maybe the most engaging thing for adults, but you know, certainly worth a read at the very least.
You ever been there? Because I have. This was the TikTok shop moment for me. I'm telling you.
That's dude, that's rough. Yeah, it's rough putting the screws in the like sideways too sometimes.
They always go in at a little bit of a slant, man.
Yeah,
And there's just no
it's
fix.
never how you want it.
You know?
So would you say that this game though is kind of like, you know, just wanting you to remember specific moments like that?
Yeah, I with maybe the exception of one that's a little bit way more esoteric, maybe.
Okay.
They're all kind of hearkening back to kind of your younger years in life. Maybe like around the ages of like 8 to 12, where you're in this period of your life, and they all kind of want you to feel a certain way about your childhood, or maybe some universal themes with childhood and growing up in some capacity, to varying extents. Because again, each puzzle is different, you'll see what I mean by that in just a couple of minutes. But this one for sure is trying to get at something about like a family trying to do something together.
Sure.
Like even if you didn't assemble some kind of cabinet with your family, you did something with your family together in some capacity,
Yes.
and things didn't go as planned.
Yes. You played this whole thing?
I did. Very short game. It's
Okay.
about an hour. But it did resonate with me.
Yeah. Was there any like is there any like connection or like overarching like story or anything between the different puzzles, or is it all just like what we're seeing, like individual stories and whatever?
100% each individual vignettes. Any kind of connections you make are going to be, you know, your own personal reading of how you connect them together.
Sure.
And you'll see exactly what I mean right now in a second when we're doing this seashell level. And we won't see the whole thing, but you'll see a couple of minutes of it.
I see what you're saying. A little bit of text here as opposed to just sort of nothing from the last one, which is fine, by the way.
Sure, but even this one is a non-verbal.
I see.
One, a vignette as well.
This is cute though. I really go ahead.
I did want to mention real quick. Miniatures already getting some critical acclaim at a couple of showcases. At WASD IGN, it was the official selection. It's a gaming event in London. It was an official selection at Indie Arena booth. And then at TGS was also an official selection among some other acclaims that they've already gotten before the game has even come out. It's out tomorrow, by the way, on, or I guess by the time this posts, today, the 14th, on Steam, on Nintendo Switch, which I know you're a big fan of, Peter, and then on iOS as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I was like when a small game that has like, you know, simplistic, relatively simplistic controls is able to like launch on iOS or Android or what have you, just because it's just another place to reach players. You know what I mean? Oh, look at this guy.
These cool little dudes.
I like that a lot. I like that quite a lot. This art style also looks like a children's book that I'm having a hard time putting my finger on, but
I mean, that just harkens back to what I guess the game is trying to evoke emotionally, which is those, you know, childish years.
Yeah.
Of growing up.
Looks like yeah, go ahead.
We've all been, you know, in a passenger seat of a car and like put our fingers up and imagined the guy running along, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about?
100%. It was always Spider-Man for me in the side.
Oh,
yeah.
awesome. That's awesome.
The children's book I'm thinking of is The Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales. Perhaps you're familiar.
I'm not, but that sounds like a phenomenal children's book.
It's delightful. So you're able to pop in and out of these stories if you like?
You can, but I did some editing because I don't want to show you the whole thing.
Oh, I see.
Right?
I see. Okay, that's fair.
This will be the last one I kind of show you. And this one is maybe the most narrative focused out of all of them, at least verbally. And then here's the mechanics of teaching you how to interact with the game. Is just click on the black objects, the black squares, what have you.
Sure. Oh, and it's a window. Oh, this looks very cool. Here's another one. Here's another literary thing. Persepolis. Kind of looks like that.
Dude. Oh man. If I weren't sitting down recording, I would walk to my bookshelf behind me and grab Persepolis off the shelf.
It's great.
Point to the camera.
Great.
Wow, look at you.
Catch me with the. I've got the literary references today to the Stinky Cheese Man.
And all I can think about is Twilight.
Sure. That's
for some reason.
No, this is similar sort of vibe here too. I get it.
It's the blue, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Emil. I like that name, but I think I just like Nier. I think that's just what it is.
Who doesn't, man? We all love Nier.
Yeah.
One thing I love about this vignette in particular is the way environments fade in and out in different and like that was nothing like this one specifically gets a lot crazier. I don't think I show it because I don't want to spoil those kinds of things, but they do some really cool things with the environment in this one, and I think this is the one where like the background's a lot more like watercolor inspired.
Sure.
And again, you can see how the similarities between the other vignettes, but this one is just like slightly different.
Yeah, it's interesting how it seems like it plays differently too. You know what I mean? This is more like point and click adventure-y as opposed to what that first one was, which was just, click on the thing. Did we see that first one in its entirety, or was there more to it? We did,
yeah. That was the first one in its entirety, and that's the demo. That's the one that's publicly available as a demo. I mean, now, I'm assuming the demo is going to remain on Steam for you to download if you wish.
Yeah.
That's the Persepolis right there.
It really is with the profile. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is really sweet though. I love kind of a lo-fi game. There's a solo dev indie game called A Game About, which is like it's similar to this. It's all pencil art. It's all like hand drawn.
Sure.
And it's very like slice of lifey of just like this is what it's like to be a person, which I think is. I think we have these ideas that all video games have to be these grand, adventures and stories, but like no, it's sometimes about just putting your little flip-flops on to go outside,
What better way to end than with a sentiment like that? Because yes, 100% this is a slice of life in short form video game content, which I can't really think of any other games doing stuff like this. This is the kind of stuff I look for in games. Little experiences that kind of push the medium in interesting directions, not normally seen in things like AAA.
Yeah, exactly. This is just like a nice art piece, basically.
Absolutely. Peter, this was Miniatures, and that is this week's Game Gems #TGGG. Let us know what you think of Miniatures down below. For all things cozy, indie, art house, slice of life, beauty, make sure you stick with the gamer.